In the first 3 years, what actually you learn?
So one should develop like the proper skills or basics of that subject in the class itself, and also you should also take part in the college fest or do extracurricular activities. So in third year you should build up your resume properly and start doing data structures very well.
Can you briefly elaborate about your projects?
So as you have seen, like in your area or cities, you have bicycles where you just scan the code and then you run the bicycle and then you have to pay online. Similarly, we thought of implementing that in our college itself in order to the transport to be efficient for the students, and it would be very cheap also.
While you are in college, have you participated in any technical events or hackathons?
So hackathons actually give you exposure to like the real life projects that are going to work in the future.
Can you briefly elaborate about that internship?
SQL is also very important for the interviews point of view also. Like in the technical rounds, they have asked SQL several times.
So what are the languages you have learned in the 4 years?
Even if you're good at one language, that will also work. So just be good at any language like Python, C++, Java, any one language.
So is there any prerequisites for the placements?
So you should be thorough with resume. Like any point you mention in your resume, you should know about it.
How much CGPA is required for the placements?
I would give you an example. Optum came for 8.5 CGPA, Apple came for 9 CGPA.
Okay, as we know, for the placements, first we have a written test or coding test. After that, we have group discussion. After we have HR round. So can you briefly elaborate your experience in all these? Every year, around 15 lakh engineering students are graduating, but very less percentage of the students are landing on job right after their BTech. So after their BTech, most of the students are joining coaching, but due to heavy competition, it will take years to land on a job. So the guest for today's podcast, who got placed in the final year of her BTech, that too in a product-based company. So the guest for today's podcast is Vanshika, who was working as senior software development engineer at Optum since past 3 years. So in this podcast, we will cover her entire journey from day one of her college till today. So if you are someone who are in college, or if you are someone who are interested to learn software engineering development, make sure you watch this entire podcast. So I have given the timestamps in the description. So if you want to know about any specific topic, you go and check from there. So without any further ado, let's get started. So hi Vanshika, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Hi Joshua. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank you so much for accepting my invitation and giving you some of your valuable time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Vanshika, can you briefly elaborate about your background?
So myself Vanchika, I am currently working as a senior software engineer at Optum, and I have around 3 years of experience. I had a campus placement from Thapar, from where I did my BTech in computer science.
So Vanshika, actually, when did you started with coding?
So for coding, like in my 11th, 12th only, I had a subject C++. So since then I had an interest towards C++, but if you say coding, I started from the first year of college itself. We had one subject C++ in the curriculum itself.
Okay, so you have started your coding journey from first year of your college.
Yeah, like the basics, not like proper.
Yeah.
But basics.
Okay. So Vanshika, you have joined in Tapa University for your BTech. So in the first 3 years, what actually you learned?
Okay, so I joined back in 2017. So what I would recommend you guys also, like from the first year, you have generally all the colleges have the subjects like C++, Python, or any one of the language. So one should develop like the proper skills or basics of that subject in the class itself. And also you should also take part in the college fest or do extracurricular activities like dancing, acting, swimming, whatever sports. Like it would be good for your resume, like the extracurricular activities. Then in the second year of college, the subjects that were really important and you should also focus on includes database management system like the DBMS, OS, and ML also if you guys have. So really focus on that, because further like in the interview preparation, the OS and DBMS are some of the subjects which they really focus, like in the first round especially, in the MCQs form it comes, so you should focus on that. And then in the third year you should start building your projects. I would say, like in fact from the second year itself, Like you can build a project on DBMS. Like I built one database management system project, and I even added in my resume. So that's also a very good project. So in third year, you should build up your resume properly and start doing data structures very well. Like you can take any course from like Coding Blocks, Coding Ninjas, and start keep practicing like from Lead Code or Geeks for Geeks, like any good coding platform. Because I think from fourth year generally all the colleges start their campus placements. So by fourth year, your resume, your coding and your project should be ready itself, so that you just need to revise it before like the campus placement starts.
You have started your coding from first year of college. So in these 3 years, I hope you have done few projects. So have you done any projects? If yes, can you briefly elaborate about your projects?
So I did around 3 projects. So one was based on the database management system. So it was like a retail database management system, like where it was basically about a retail store where we used to manage the customer data and like store it in the database, and then we used to retrieve like on which date how many sales was done, and like the overall data of the customers. So it was majorly based on the SQL queries that we learn in the college itself, like creating the database, retrieving data, etc. And the other project I did was ML. So machine learning was one of my elective. So I worked on lemmatization as a topic basically in ML. So I created a project on that using Python and R language. So yeah, we applied various ML models like the regression model, and we used to retrieve the data and show it. So it's like a basic projects only, but I think one's concept should be strong in creating the projects, so that in the interview you answer it like very well, you're thorough with your project. So basically the third project is the capstone project that I did. It was basically a lock system for a cycle renting system. So as you have seen, like in your area or cities, you have bicycles where you just scan the code and then you run the bicycle, and then you have to pay online, like the e-cycles. So it was, yeah, so similarly we thought of implementing that in our college itself, in order to like the transport to be efficient for the students, and it would be very cheap also. So we implemented two things. One was a software, so that was basically an application that was built on Python, Angular, and basic of HTML, CSS. And then there was a hardware part. So it was basically a lock that would be placed on the cycle itself. So when a user opens from the app, then the lock would be unlocked. So it was majorly that. So it was the capstone project. I think we did it in the last year of our college. So yeah.
So Vanshika, while you are in college, have you participated in any technical events or hackathons?
Yeah, so that's a really important part, and I would recommend like anyone to do so. So I participated in various hackathons, I think in the second and third year, and even I won in one of the Paytm Build hackathon. I was the second runner up. So hackathons actually give you exposure to like the real life projects that you are going to work in the future. So that is very good for your resume also. So I highly recommend that. So it's not important that you have to make some big projects, but just take part in it. Like I also built a very simple Arduino board project there. So yeah, it was basically on Python only.
So Vanshika, while you are in college, in the 3-year journey, you have learned about so many languages, I hope. So like what kind of resources you have used for learning these languages?
I think now though YouTube is pretty famous, but I used to learn the languages from Java Point is very good, Geeks for Geeks is very good, and Lead Code is really good for the practice. Otherwise, you have various YouTube tutorials, or you can take a course from Udemy. So it is quite cheap also, and the learning is also very good. You get a certificate also there in the Udemy.
So while you are in college, have you done any internships? If yes, like can you briefly elaborate about that internship?
So I did not do any specific internships, but like in our college, it was compulsory to do a 6-month internship in the last semester. So that was basically an off-campus internship that I applied from various platforms like LinkedIn, Naukri.com, and other sites. But from LinkedIn only, I got a internship in Blackbit. So it was a startup in Delhi, but it was work from home only. So I have worked on it was basically based on handling the database. So again, I want to mention this point, like SQL is also very important for the interviews point of view also. Like in the technical rounds, they have asked SQL several times. So my internship was also involved in creating the tables and then storing the data, retrieving the data. So it was more on the SQL side, like that internship.
So Vanshika, let us assume you are in the final year of your college. You have did coding for around 4 years. So what are the languages you have learned in that 4 years?
Okay, so I have learned C++, I have learned Python, I have learned a little bit of Java, then HTML, CSS, and ML. I have learned concepts of machine learning and SQL also. But I would say that even if you're good at one language, that will also work. So just be good at any language like Python, C++, Java, any one language, and then you'll be good to go.
So Vanshika, so before the placements, you have learned like few languages, you have did like few projects, and also I hope you are ready with the internship as well. So it is the time for your placements. So is there any prerequisites for the placements?
So for placements, you really need to brush up the data structures, SQL and OS, the operating systems. So, and also you should be thorough with resume. Like any point you mention in your resume, you should know about it. Like in the interview rounds, like they basically go through each and every point in your resume. So I hope that you mention the correct points only in resume. It's not important that you mention a lot, like a lot you have done internships and all, but be specific, be to the point, and so that you can easily explain like what you have written in your resume. About your projects also, be thorough with your projects that you have mentioned there, because they are going to ask about the projects, like what you have done in your college.
These days, a lot of the students are neglecting their marks. So for placements, a certain CGPA is required. So how much CGPA is required for the placements?
Like I think CGPA is really very important in the placement. Like you should maintain about above 8, so one should maintain the CGPA, because when companies come for the placements, they generally put like this much CGPA should be there if you also have to give the coding round. Like I would give you an example. Optum came for 8.5 CGPA, Apple came for 9 CGPA. So I would highly recommend that you should maintain a CGPA at least above 8. One should maintain.
So Vanshika, as we know, for the placements, first we have a written test or coding test. After that, we have group discussion. After we have HR round. So I hope you also gone through all these rounds. So can you briefly elaborate your experience in all these rounds?
Yeah, sure. So majorly, like companies start with the test round or the coding round. So there were 2 technical questions. One was based on array and one was based on tree. And then there were few MCQs based on operating system, a database management system. So you have to like crack that before entering into the interview rounds. So after that, I had 2 interview rounds. One was a technical interview round only. So again, they asked one question on the sorting algorithm, and another question was on the basis of DP, the dynamic programming concept. So and for the technical interview round, it is also important, like by the time you're thinking about a question, just keep on telling them your approach, because it's important that you communicate with the interviewer so that he knows what you're doing. So sometimes, like if you don't even know the question, just tell him your approach, like what you are thinking, because then they'll help you with the other step, and then probably you can crack the question. So just I would recommend, don't keep thinking in your head, just say it loud whatever you are thinking about that question. And final round was the HR round. So it is basically a personality based round. They just ask like different personality questions, like how would you deal in a situation, like they basically want to test your team management skills and how well you can accumulate new language or new skills. So you need to show the interviewer your behavior, that you are eager to learn, and like you are a good team player and you will handle the pressure in the team. So those skills you have to show in the HR round.
So Vanshika, as I saw in few LinkedIn profiles, so like very top companies like Apple, Google are coming to the Thapar University for placements. Like what are the companies actually come for the placements in Thapar University?
So nearly all good companies come in Thapar, like be it Amazon, then Cisco, uh,
Yeah.
then Ion or Providence, Optum. Like all good companies are coming to like Thapar. So yeah.
So Vanshika, like can you briefly elaborate about your company, which is Optum? Like what actually it do?
Okay, so Optum is basically a healthcare company. So it's a US based
Okay.
multinational company. It deals with the
Yeah.
insurances, like the health insurance, and
Yeah.
it has clients all over the world. So it's
Yeah.
a great company, and they have various products on the healthcare. They
Yeah.
have products on mental health also. So, but I work
Okay.
on the software side, like I work on the uh, front end and back end both, so it's like a full stack
Okay.
role for me. Yeah.
So Vanshika, like what actually you do in that Optum company? Like what is your role while you are in joining and today?
So while I joined, I was working on one of the project. It was RTCM.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
basically dealt with analyzing the data of the people that come through the health insurances, like cleaning that data and then retrieving the data and showing on the website. But to now, like as I'm SD2 now, so I work on
Yeah.
the majorly as a full stack developer there. So I basically
Okay.
worked on the product where we just take the data from the other team, then we
Okay.
directly expose it to the customer. Like we basically send the appointments. Like we are a mediator between the hospital and the patients. So our like we
Okay.
send we have a website, so they can refer there,
Okay.
book an appointment, and then they
Okay.
get the message accordingly. So I work on that product now.
Okay. So how is your work-life balance at Optum? Like, do you feel a little bit hectic, or do you feel like more pressure, or do you feel like you can manage the time? Like, how is your work-life balance?
So the I would say the major perk of Optum is the work-life balance only. The work-life balance is pretty good because Optum
Okay.
really focuses on the mental health and the like personal time of the employee. So it
Okay.
has a hybrid structure of work mode also. We have to go around 10 days compulsory to the office in a month. So rest of the days we
Okay.
can do work from home. So the
Okay.
work-life balance is good, I would say.
I think it will be good because it is a healthcare company,
Yeah.
so it was giving health as their first priority.
Yeah, correct.
So, what are the current trending languages that a entry level software engineer should know?
Like I think like currently Java is like the main core of the language, but again I would say
Okay.
that when you enter into corporate industry, they don't expect like specific language from you. They expect that you should be great at problem solving. So you pick any language,
Yeah.
C++, Python, Java,
Yeah.
so you would be
Yeah.
good to go. But like most of the MNCs or product based, Java is like the current language. So if you start with Java, so definitely you will get an edge in the future.
So, Vanshika, like how much coding knowledge is required for an entry level job?
Again, you should be good with like the data structures. I am
Okay.
again and again saying data structures because anywhere you go, like be it Amazon, Facebook, any good company or any top company,
Yeah.
data
Yeah.
structures is the prime thing that they notice. So be thorough with data
Yeah.
structures, like all the topics, arrays, strings, trees, heaps. Like
Yeah.
practice very good because they are going to judge you on your problem solving ability, because they know that you are going to learn any language because the core of all the languages are same. So they just want
Okay.
that you should have that problem solving attitude because you are going to learn
Okay.
the language anyway in the projects.
So, Vanshika, you have 3 years experience in Optum. So, how much salary one can expect as a fresher at Optum?
So as a fresher, like currently, you can expect around 16 to 17 CTC, like 16 to 17 LPA.
So, Vanshika, these days artificial intelligence is doing a lot of things. So, if we give a command, it will automatically generating a picture, or if we give a command, it will automatically designing websites for us. So, like, will AI replace the software engineers, or will AI help the software engineers? So, what is your comment on this?
That's the most, I think, alarming question of like today.
Yeah.
So I think that AI won't replace software engineers, but it would definitely help, because in our company also we have now installed Copilot. So Copilot
Yeah.
is one of the AI engine only in the IntelliJ that we use. So
Yeah.
it would help in improving the coding and everything. But eventually,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we are only going to direct like AI also to do what to do. So I
Yeah.
don't think they would replace software engineers, but yes, they would make our work quite easy, and we don't have to spend nights debugging the code.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Vanshika, like any tips you want to share for the upcoming software engineers?
I just want to share is key do data structures, be thorough with your resume, do good projects, enjoy your college life also, and also do extracurricular activities, because that just broadens your resume. And just be confident and keep on giving the interviews. You will get into one of the best companies. So all the best.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So Vanshika, this is the final question for this podcast. So how someone can contact you?
So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Like, I am
Yeah.
really available there, so you can ping me, and I would love
Okay.
to like answer the questions. And I just want to tell you all that be motivated, and like I know it's a very difficult phase, like it was for me also back in
Yeah.
2021, but
Yeah.
eventually everyone gets placed. So just work on yourself and work hard, and you'll get it.
So guys, I will give the Vanshika LinkedIn profile link in the description. So if you have any queries related to software development engineer, you can check from there. So Vanshika, once again, thank you so much for giving some of your valuable time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you for having me.
So guys, this is the end of the podcast. I hope you got some value from this podcast. So if you think you got some value from this podcast, make sure you hit the like button, and also please share your opinions and thoughts in the comment section. I will upload this kind of podcasts in the future. So if you want to be notified when I upload those podcasts, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications just by hitting that bell icon. So this is your Joshua Kamlakar signing off.